Think about the last time you finally got something you desperately wanted. Maybe it was a highly anticipated meal. You get it, you consume it, and the satisfaction evaporates almost instantly. Why does that happen? Why do our brains immediately reset to a baseline of craving and dissatisfaction, no matter what we actually achieve? It comes down to the mechanics of consciousness itself. Just as your physical body needs three-dimensional space to exist, your mind requires an object to anchor itself to. It has to attach to something to maintain its own individuality. This constant mental restlessness serves as a strict survival mechanism. Without an object to focus on, the mind dissolves, facing absolute obliteration. Because the mind requires constant attachment, the moment a thought, a desire, or an object is used up and exhausted, the mind has to immediately seek out a replacement. It jumps to a new target as quickly as possible. We experience this rapid switching of focus as chronic unsteadiness. It is a never-ending internal upheaval that leaves us feeling perpetually exhausted. We are caught in a relentless cycle, continually feeding a mind that is always starving. And it starves because the physical objects we throw at it cannot actually sustain it. Which raises a deeper question. Why do physical things fail to provide lasting nourishment to the mind? Let's look at how we experience something like eating. Your mind does not actually touch the physical food. Instead, your sensory organs pick up vibratory waves of taste, touch, and smell, and send those signals inward. Those signals arrive at a specific stratum of the mind called chitta, the seat of the ego, or the resultant I feeling. The chitta absorbs these waves and constructs its own mental form from them. Notice the disconnect here. Your mind never directly interacts with the original object. It only ever engages with the translated signals, the subjective recreation built inside the chitta. Believing we have found true happiness in the physical world is a biological illusion. We are only ever consuming the reflected shadows of reality. Trying to find ultimate meaning in physical objects is like trying to determine if a tree is a mango or a jackfruit by staring exclusively at its shadow on the dirt. You are looking in the wrong place, and there is a real danger to this path. If we continuously point our attention outward toward crude, finite objects, the mind itself begins to degrade into crudeness. As the ancient texts warn, you become what you think. To find true nourishment, the mind has to completely reverse its course. Instead of chasing physical shadows, it must turn inward toward Purusha, the universal, witnessing cosmic consciousness that serves as the original source. This specific action, the deliberate union of the universal mind merging with the universal Purusha, is the true, original meaning of the word yoga. True liberation requires turning the mind to face the infinite light that casts these shadows. But this presents a glaring problem. If the physical world is just a shadow, are we supposed to abandon our jobs, our families, and our very survival to sit in a cave and achieve yoga? This is exactly why the ancient Vedic sages rejected idol worship. Attempting to install an infinite, all-pervading concept into a strictly finite object is a paradox. It confines your spiritual attention to a physical boundary. Yet we exist in physical bodies. We have to navigate what the texts call praya, the immediate practical gains required to stay alive, while still pursuing shreya, our ultimate spiritual progress. The spiritual aspirant faces a severe contradiction here. We are forced to interact with the crude physical world to survive, but doing so threatens to bind our minds back to the shadows. The resolution to this contradiction lies in a specific technique known as Madhu Vidya. It is a practice designed to let a person achieve liberation while actively living a highly engaged worldly life. The core mechanic is a deliberate mental shift. Before you interact with any object or perform any task, you strip away your personal ego and replace it with a cosmic feeling. Take the act of working a job, like plowing a field. Under Madhu Vidya, you do not view this as a miserable chore for selfish gain. Instead, you contemplate that you are actively caring for the physical manifestation of the infinite. Consider the act of feeding a child. In this state, the parent nurtures a direct manifestation of cosmic consciousness itself.
Madhu Vidya proves that breaking the cycle of the restless mind requires a change in perspective rather than an escape from the physical world. We simply witness the infinite light shining through the mundane.